I got the moves. I got the moves. I'm making moves. You gotta move. You gotta make the city move. I make the city move. I got the move.
It's finally time for the NBA Finals. After the Raptors beat the Bucks today, it means we have the two official teams for this season's NBA Finals, the Toronto Raptors and Golden State Warriors. So, who wins? In today's video, I will be predicting the Toronto Raptors and Golden State Warriors NBA Finals series, each team's strengths and weaknesses, who needs to step up, the key to success, every little detail. So, if you guys are new and enjoy the video, be sure to subscribe for more NBA content. But with that being said, let's take a look at the 2019 NBA Finals matchup. The Warriors are coming off an easy series win versus the Blazers. Even without Kevin Durant, the Warriors swept Portland. Curry, Klay, and Draymond went off throughout that series. It was amazing to watch. It was really reminiscent of the 2016 Warriors. Apparently Durant may be out for part of this series due to his injury he sustained in the second round, so the Warriors need to keep up this momentum if they want to continue this dynasty run and three-peat. The Toronto Raptors are coming off a crazy series versus the Bucks. After dropping the first two games and nearly choking the third, they won 4 straight games to take the series in 6. Kawhi was supremely dominant, and I'll admit I was wrong about Lowry. He balled out in these 6 games and was a big part to why they won. If they continue how they're playing, there's a good chance they'll take home the Larry O'Brien trophy. So, what are the strengths and weaknesses for each team? Let's start with the Golden State Warriors. Strengths: shooting. Let's start with the obvious one. The Warriors are just phenomenal at shooting. With players like Stephen Curry and Klay Thompson, as well as legendary scorers like Durant, when this team heats up, it's almost impossible to cool them down. Depth/starting lineup. Though DeMarcus Cousins is out of the starting lineup for the remainder of the season and it's unclear whether KD will be back for Game 1 at this point, the Warriors are still stacked and they have shown their worth in Game 6 versus the Houston Rockets and throughout the entire Blazers series. Don't forget players like Iguodala and their bench, who dropped 33 points in Game 6 versus the Rockets. And in Game 4 versus the Blazers, the bench also dropped a solid 30. Their starting lineup is consistent of 4 All-Stars, and there's always at least 2 or 3 of them on the court at one time, and we've seen how unstoppable they can be these playoffs. But what are some weaknesses for Golden State? No Durant. The only weakness I can really think of for the Warriors is the fact they potentially have no Durant for part of this series. And though that was okay against Portland and Houston, it won't be against the Raptors. Someone needs to guard Kawhi, and Durant would be the one to do that, but if he misses a couple games, that could really be costly for the Warriors in this series. The Blazers and Rockets relied heavily on their guards, so Curry and Klay were able to outplay them and lock them down, but with the Raptors, it's a different story. The Warriors need Durant this series if they want to win it all. I don't think only Curry and Klay being the scoring options will be enough to get past Toronto. So those are the strengths and weaknesses for the Warriors. How about the Raptors? Here are some strengths for the Toronto Raptors. Kawhi Leonard. Yes, I have to put Kawhi in as a strength. He is a major reason why the Raptors have made it this far, and for a vast majority of these playoffs, he's pretty much single-handedly carried this team. This playoff run is off the back of Kawhi only, and he's making a case for one of the best playoff runs of all time if he keeps it up. 3-point shooting. I know this is a strength for every team so far, but honestly, it's one of the Raptors too. Danny Green, Pascal Siakam, Lowry, Van Vliet, Powell, all of them have been shooting well from 3 this season, and last round versus the Bucks, it's been a major luxury for the Raptors. But then there are weaknesses for the Raptors too. What are they? Supporting cast. The Toronto Raptors supporting players around Kawhi Leonard haven't been great these playoffs. Yeah, this did change a bit versus the Bucks, but players like Gasol were shooting 1 for 10 some games. Siakam had some poor games the last few series, and this cannot continue versus the Warriors. I will admit, Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, and Van Vliet all greatly lifted their games the past round, but they need to continue this in their franchise's first ever finals appearance. As we know, if a player plays bad in a series, it could cost their team it all. So, who's been playing poorly and needs to step it up from each team? For the Warriors, it's hard to say. All players on their team have been playing fantastic. They haven't lost without KD yet, Draymond is revitalizing his season, Curry is playing like an MVP, and Clay's playing at an all-NBA level. He got snubbed hard. So, I think I'm going to have to say Durant on this one. He hasn't played in a while, and if he misses the first couple of games of the finals, he really needs to step up. If he does return for the whole series, he needs to play his best, because Kawhi Leonard is right in his prime right now, and is dominating. Durant needs to show he is the best player in the league, and lock Kawhi down. I know he didn't play poorly before his injury or anything, but this is the series for him to prove his worth to this Warriors team, and show teams what he can do for his upcoming free agency. For the Raptors, I'm gonna have to say Marc Gasol. He played poorly this past series against the Bucks, and just really wasn't himself. I said earlier in the season that Gasol would be the reason why the Raptors would win the East, and in some games this series, he showed that, but in many, he hasn't. In Game 2, he shot 11% from the field. Yes, you heard that right, 11%. And in Game 5, he shot 16%. Yes, he had some okay games, but against the Warriors, he can't be this inconsistent. This is a big opportunity for him. He's going to be guarded by Kevon Looney most of the time, and I'm not saying that will be easy. Looney's been amazing recently for the Warriors, but he's definitely not Cousins nor on Gasol's level. Gasol needs to play as hard as he can to get himself a ring. He really needs to step up this series. What is the key to success for each team? What will win them the series? For the Warriors, it's got to be locking down Kawhi. Leonard has been so dominant these playoffs, and no team has found a way to shut him down completely, and if the Warriors struggle to do that, it could be a crushing blow to their championship hopes. There are some small things too. Draymond still needs to play like he has. KD needs to do at the very least play at the same level of Kawhi if he continues to go off, but Kawhi needs to be stopped. That should be the Warriors' main focus. For the Raptors, it's the surrounding cast lifting. They did versus the Bucks, excluding a couple of poor performances by some of them, and if they do it again versus the Warriors in all 7 potential games, I have no doubt this team can win it all. Kawhi has done so much to lift this team to where they are. The bench just needs to help him finish the job. It's as simple as that. But now for my final prediction. In the 2019 NBA Finals, I have the Warriors winning in 6 games over the Toronto Raptors. Now all of you Raptor fans, don't get mad and dislike, hear me out here. I love the Raptors and I personally want them to win. I am sick of the Warriors winning it all. But I can't be biased here. There is no one on the Raptors who can stop Curry. I don't see Kyle Lowry locking him up, I don't see Van Vliet or Powell or Denny Green doing it, and in my eyes, I do think this will cost them the series. If Durant does come back, the focus will be on him and Kawhi. I do think Kawhi can minimize Durant's impact and potentially vice versa, but there is no one to guard Curry. And I don't think this series is a runover, it's nowhere close to a blowout. But I just don't think Kawhi Leonard and his supporting cast is enough to take down the super team in Golden State. But what do you guys think of this? Who do you have winning this series? Toronto or Golden State? And in how many games? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to drop it a like and subscribe. But with that being said, I am out. Peace.